let's go to Harry. Harry,
Yes,
I don't
neighbor.
want you to go to the. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go around the world here, Harry. We have 18 minutes, but
Yes, neighbor.
the political consequences here, Harry. The controversies that the PNP are now involved in. This morning, another member arrested, allegations of sexual impropriety. It is compounding into a broader narrative of crisis within the party. How damaging you think this moment is, given these existing challenges? And when you add the 3 electoral loss, the fact that the PNP is polling very weak, and Infomedia earlier spoke of internal tension, is the party facing a temporary setback, or is this a deeper existential crisis?
Well, to be honest, it's a little of both, neighbor. Right? The true crisis as to what all of this is stemming from, neighbor, is that the People's National Party currently are morally corrupt. They are morally bankrupt, rather. Right? Because if they were of good standing when it comes on to the morality standards, then we would have known that you don't need to hide behind any legality. In fact, the legal aspect of things comes from the morality of a society, because these are the accepted, values, ethics, and so on, that then becomes a part of the legal system. And that is what we're seeing. The lack of it is what is breeding a lot of the issues currently for the People's National Party, which is damning for them. They have also, when you look at it, and this is something, by the way, they don't accept. This is a chain of thought and a perspective that they will never ever admit to, because it exposes them too much. Now, when you look at the scandals and the issues arising, it speaks to that heavily, neighbor. And in terms of what, adding to in terms of what Scratchy would have said as well, they themselves can't correct it. And as such, the people of Jamaica will have to be the ones to hold it in the standard that they want. So if the people decide to bring back the People's National Party, then it shows us where our society is going, and it shows the pull that they would have. But based on the current trajectory, they don't. That is not what is there for Jamaica currently and where they want to head. And that's a beautiful thing. Now, until they are able to bring back, that level of moral compass, neighbor, that consciousness of morality, we will see more and more of these issues coming to the fray. Because as this gets worse, or as it worsens, they themselves become more exposed. Lavi, I'm getting a feedback from your end. Yeah. So as all of this comes up, neighbor, they are now showing their hands, showing what they're hiding behind. And it is not accepted in today's society, which is why we've seen this big uproar, which is why the people have rejected them so much and will continue to do so. There's no question about that, right? Now, when you look at what they're trying to offer and being pegged back by the pressure of the compass that they need to match up to the direction that Jamaica is pushing towards, and they're failing unprovoked, because these issues, neighbor, coming to the forefront are genuinely unprovoked. We didn't send to go and investigate them. These are the natural orders when you're changing as a society, when the standard is being put higher, when we are demanding better for ourselves as a nation. And the People's National Party are being exposed for that, because they cannot cover this up any longer. They're hiding behind things and so on. They can't put a spin on it, no matter what they tend to try and what they want to do. It is just a natural order as to what is coming and what is where the direction as to where the society is going. And it's sad to say, we want a decent enough to a good opposition, and they can't provide that for Jamaica, none whatsoever. But it is that in which they're unable, neighbor, to meet the standards as to why we're seeing so many things also being exposed. Meaning, we will continue to see a lot of these things coming to the forefront. Make no mistake about that. There's a lot more to come. And it is a level of growth, I'd want to say, for Jamaicans, of making the right decisions for those 3 terms. Because I can tell you, had Jamaica not wake up and smell the coffee on those 3 elections, I can tell you these things would have been pushed under the carpet, because they've infiltrated these institutions that should have been, protecting the people of Jamaica and their interests. And those rails have also failed because they control not just the narrative and the outcomes, but they're able to do so because they control those persons involved. But because we're moving away from all of that, neighbor, we're seeing a lot of this coming up. We're changing the framework. We are now demanding more. We are now requiring that the people of Jamaica, Lavi, mute, or Caroline, mute Lavi.
I am not able to mute him. His microphone is turned off.
Okay. All right, I think he's mute. So with that in its extent, neighbor, this is why we're seeing all of these things happening, right? And as such, I'll close it to say, without these things coming up, the People's National Party, because there's an aspect to it that is helping them, neighbor, right? The future version of them, if they accept what is happening, they're being purged by a natural order of a society advancing. You speak in terms of the gravity. Gravity pulls in a neighbor. Because if let's look at the moon and what it does to the sea, how it attracts certain things and pulls, right? It is the same thing that's happening to the People's National Party. It is pulling up. Normally gravity pulls down, but because in this case it attracts, it is showing now when our system is being purged, when it's being cleansed, the negative things are attracted to each other. And as such, as we move, as we get better, these things are going to be pushed to the fray, and the People's National Party will always suffer from that until they accept what it is.
Well, brilliant dissecting there.